Well, g'day, and welcome back here to Zhaoqing once again. We have a beautiful sunny day today, rather warm, but yeah, it's not too bad. A little bit sweaty out here, but we're struggling along. So today we're taking a little walk. We actually filmed this yesterday, but for some reason the sound didn't work. Let me check that my microphone's still connected. Yes, it is. So today we're heading down to it's an old wall which has some wonderful artwork on it. Yesterday when I filmed this, I was saying that last time I was down there they were doing some works down there, so we couldn't actually get in. I went down to take some photographs and yeah, it didn't happen. So I wasn't actually sure yesterday whether we were going to be able to get in or not. It turns out we did get in. There was a little gap in the fence. There was no workmen up there or anything, so we sort of snuck our way in. So we're going to redo this first part of the video for you all, which maybe will mean I get a little bit more succinct. We're also going to go have a look at a temple. And so that old wall and the temple are going to be the first part of our video here today. And then we're going to go for a walk, have a look at a new housing development, and go and have a look at sort of the hardware section of the city, where if you want to buy hardware, it's where you go. If we turn the camera around here, we can just see on the bridge over here, we've got a train just heading. I don't know how well the camera's picking that up. We've got a freight train heading over the bridge. Just wanted to point out down here, we see in front of the bridge here, there's these big concrete bollards sitting in front to stop the boats hitting the bridge supports. When we came down, I can't remember which video it was either for the Baogong Museum or for the old church, which is over the river here. I was pointing these out, and we're sort of down below the second level now of these bollards. So when we did the first one, the water level was right up at the height, well, right up onto those top level. So yeah, the water's dropped probably, I don't know, it's hard to judge how high those things are. Just looking at that boat going past and comparing the size, I'd say the river's dropped at least 4 meters since we made those videos, 3, maybe 4 weeks ago. And if we look a little bit further down here, you can see along the riverbank here, lots of gardens. So a lot of people have little gardening plots here. Here in front of us, right here, we have banana trees. We can actually see some bananas. They're still very, very green, not ready to be picked yet. But yeah, so right the way along the river, from sort of where the college is, all the way along here, is a lot of gardening, vegetables and stuff like that happening. Yeah, people have their own little plots and come and do their thing. Some of them will take their vegetables to restaurants, sell them direct to restaurants, and others go pick their veggies and head off down to the markets, which they'll just set up a little stall inside the fresh food markets around the place. So yeah, when we get up here a little ways, we will sort of get down to this little road down below us on our left, which will get us a little bit close to some of these gardens. We'll have a bit of a better look, hopefully. And the other thing we're gonna, when we did the Baogong video, I pointed out down on the river there was a big, like a town square area where people hang around. Well, that's all changed since I was down that way last. I was really quite surprised yesterday at what I saw. So we'll get back down there, have another look down there as well. So yeah, I was just sitting down in the cool air conditioning, getting ready to edit videos. I just dragged all the videos into the video editor that I videoed yesterday, and all of them working fine except for this bloody first one, which had no sound. So hopefully this one comes out okay. Just over here, you can see this little gate here that actually leads into a little park area, which is really nice. Lots of plants and stuff in there, and then you've also got the shade underneath the bridges above, which are above the park. So it's a nice place to come if you want to get a bit of shade during the day, sit amongst the trees. So one thing I do notice here is, because people don't really go outside at all during the day, there's not a lot of shady places and not a lot of places even to sit, although that's changing as time goes on. They are building more sort of sitting areas and stuff around the place, but they're still really for sitting of an evening once the sun's disappeared. Yeah, I guess building lots of shaded seating would be a bit of a waste of money, because nobody goes out during the heat of the day except for crazy bloody Australians anyway. So just look down this way, this white boat in front of us here. Can I zoom in on it? That is actually some form of river authority. So they've just been over at the bridge here, just checking all of these bollards and things in front of the bridges, and they'll be running around checking on safety and things as they move around. Over on the right here is quite a popular restaurant. I haven't actually, have I been in there? No, I've been into the one next door with the outdoor seating, but I haven't been into this first one before. But it seems to be quite popular. Most evenings, a good crowd of people sitting in there. Same with this one sitting next door to it with the outdoor seating. Very popular. And then there's another restaurant beyond that, sort of back down the way a bit from the roadway. And then there's actually a new area down here we'll show you on our way through as well. All these tall buildings in front of us are brand new. So this first one right in front of us, I don't know if you can see, there's still scaffolding up on the left-hand side of that. So they're still under construction there. That was, when I first arrived here, just over 6 years ago now, that was groundworks. There was nothing above ground level. They were still building the, digging the holes underneath for underground car parking and whatever other service areas they put underneath. So yeah, those few buildings there are all absolutely brand spanking new. It'd be a pretty cool place to live, actually, getting up high there, looking out over the river and the mountains here, watching the boats drift by. So we have a little, so next to that service boat now, we have a little fishing boat coming in, which we're going to see some fishing boats up the way a little bit. A lot more of these garden plots here. So pretty much directly over the river from us now is that old church we went and saw. I don't even remember how long ago that was now, 3 or 4 weeks back. What else can we see that's worth a look from here? Not much. Let's get down to this bottom. Oh, maybe we won't actually. No, we'll stay up on the top. So we see down in this little parking area, one of these blue bikes. So this is one of these bikes that you can rent. There's obviously somebody down there has rented one of them and is doing some gardening. So yeah, it's a bit of a funny situation. So she's obviously, well, I'm guessing it's a she. It is mostly the elderly women that come down and do the gardening there. Has rented one of those bikes, and basically they're rented on time. So you scan your code with your WeChat, book in, and then When you finish, you scan the code again, book out, and it'll just calculate how long you had the bike for, and that'll give you the price you have to pay, which is it's very cheap. It doesn't cost very much. Thing is, like, she's left the bike there, signed out, so obviously now she's not being charged for the bike, but she's left it there sort of half hidden away so that it's there when she wants to go back home again. Thing is, I could now come along, scan the code and take her bike, and she's left having to walk back home. Well, walk until she finds another of those bikes. So yeah, we have a couple of people at the college who have taken to using those bikes every day to get to work. So where they work, there's actually a bike sort of parking area out the front of their work. So they get a new bike every day, but they ride it home in the evening, just leave it outside their apartment, sign back in the next morning. So, you know, if somebody else was to come along and take her bike, she'd be rather shocked. Where's my bike gone? Okay, so we're now down onto this bottom section. Oh, it's getting warmer out here. So we do see dotted along here these life rings. So if somebody does happen to fall into the river, you've got some safety, although it is it's a long way down from the river. You have to run all the way up here, grab that, run all the way back down to try and save someone's life. But, you know, you might say, well, they should put it close to the river. Well, remember, it was just a few weeks ago, that river was sitting at least sort of 3 or 4 meters higher than it is now. So, yeah, they've got to sort of judge where's the high point of the river and put the safety devices there. And I guess you just hope that if somebody falls in, they fall in at the high point of the river so you don't have to run too far to save their lives. So yeah, you do see those life rings dotted up and down the river. I don't know that I've ever seen them have to be used. The boat traffic on the river is actually today, it's fairly light. Yesterday, when I filmed the original video, there was a lot of traffic on the river. A lot of boats going up and down. It's a bit quieter today for some reason. It is a very, very, very busy river. We will do a complete video on the river one of these days and sort of tell you a bit about where it goes, where it comes from, what sort of stuff happens on the river, all that sort of thing. Sort of wildlife in the river, so a lot of people do fishing in the river. I don't know that I'd want to eat any of the fish out of this river. It's a little bit bloody dirty for my mind, but they seem to be doing okay with it, so it's obviously not too much of a problem. I don't like freshwater fish anyway. Give me ocean fish any day. But also on the river, one other thing I will point out, you do occasionally see people swimming in the river, which again, it's rather dirty. I don't know that I'd want to, although there are times when it is hot enough that I would be very, very tempted. But there is one time of the year, and I can't remember when it is, but we will make a video when it happens, when back beyond the bridge, probably 500 yards the other side of the bridge, once a year they stop the boats here at the bridge and they stop the boats at the other bridge and they actually have a swim across the river, and they get a large crowd of people just swimming over the river, which I might actually look at taking part in one year. I'd quite like to do that. I wouldn't be far, like I'm sure I could make the distance. I think it's getting close to 1 kilometre where they swim over. I think I could make the distance. I wouldn't make it fast, but I'm pretty sure I could make it. So yeah, that happens once a year. I have to try and find out what date that happens. I think it's around Chinese New Year time. So yeah, they stop the boats, and then once the swim's completed and they open the river back up again, the crowd of boats that just come through that center section is amazing. So yeah, we'll definitely be looking at getting video of that. Here's some people down here maybe looking for some bananas or something. So we actually came down here to try and get a bit closer to the gardening stuff and have a bit of a better look, but as you can see, this is just totally overgrown on the side here. So we'll try and find a little path that will take us down through some of the gardens here. So it is actually quite a nice looking setup. They've got a little shed down there, put their gardening equipment in. It actually looks quite well tended, that one actually. It looks really nice. More banana trees. So we see these sheds here, we'll see more of them further up. So basically, if you have a plot, you come and grab a little part of the shed for yourself. They have little, gee, this one looks a bit old and tatty. There's a better one a little bit further down where they have little segments that you can lock up, keep your own stuff safe, which they'll keep, no doubt, all their gardening tools, all their fertilizers or whatever else they use. When they finish picking their crops, they probably put their produce inside there until they're ready to transport it, all stuff like that. So it's quite a good little setup they've got going here. I don't know if people have to pay to get those plots or it's just first in, best dressed sort of thing. Here we have more of these storage sheds. Actually, let's duck down. We'll get down to this little path. Actually, down here we see also a little pier. A couple of fishing boats tied up to it. So down, we're going to actually go and have a look at some fish markets down the road a little ways. Okay, and we see ahead of us here, got some umbrellas setting up, so this will either be for fish or for vegetables selling. So we'll have a look as we walk past, see what they've got on offer here. Okay, it looks like this might be more a fish area, judging by these cutting boards down here. So they'll have live fish in the pots. You choose which fish you want, and then they'll cut it up there and then for you. So here's a bit of a closer look at these sheds here. So yeah, they'll have, so if we look at this one in front of us, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 10 individual little lockable rooms there. Here we have another of these life buoys. So yeah, 10 individual places for people to come and keep their stuff for their gardens or their fishing. We can see a lot more fishing boats down here through the trees. So yeah, it's all go down here. Nice garden area here again. Looks like, I don't know what they're growing. I can't tell you. I'm not good with plants. So here's a couple of these, well, one of these boats here. You can see the netting there on the right hand side hung up to dry. And here's all their transport to get down here, all these bikes. Oh, dogs down there on our left. So here we can get a much better look at the all the garden stuff here. And then down this way, boats all the way along the river here. So yeah, a lot of fishing goes on here. Like I say, I don't really eat any of their stuff. I'm not a fan of freshwater fish. Okay, we're going to duck back up here. Going to get back up onto the main roadway. So just in here, this parking area here, off of an evening, you'll find people park, set up little barbecues, karaoke machines. I'll come down here, have a feed, eat some food, sing some songs, have a few drinks. Yeah, it's a very nice atmosphere. Also down here, quite often, because it's sort of below the roadway, you'll quite often Chinese New Year, people come down this area setting off fireworks where they're sort of hidden from the authorities. So Duanzhou, you're not really allowed fireworks in Duanzhou because it's the city area. You go over the river into Gaoyao, fireworks are fine over there because Gaoyao is considered country. So up here, this platform above the road here is where we were up there when we went to visit the Baogong Temple. And that was where we saw down on the left here was well, we couldn't see it. It was a big sort of cement, well, like these bricks that we were walking on. Big town square area where people used to come down, hang out of an evening. Again, have barbecues, set up karaoke, do their dancing groups and all that sort of stuff. But it's all changed, as you're about to see. So as we turn the corner down here, we go down and have a look. Instead of being a town square now, it has become more gardens. So a lot more vegetable gardens down here. See a fishing boat just motoring its way past, and then a lot of boats tied up here. We're going to go down and have a look, just have a look through what these guys are selling as we go and wander through. So yeah, this was a town square, and when we made the earlier video, the water was right up to the top of these steps here, which just blows me away when you see it now, how much further lower the water is. So we might duck around this way. And then we'll just walk down this line of stalls here and have a look at what people are selling. So see all the boats lined up. So they've obviously been out. Probably the men go out, do their fishing, and their wives are on here running the stalls, selling produce. So here we have a load of fish that have just been caught, just been brought up. Ducking them through, give them a clean. So you see all the water carriers are aerated. They've got pumps running air through them. So you get everything from big things like this down to much smaller, and little mussel looking things. And then down the bottom we see all the fishing boats lined up here. Okay, so this guy here looks like he's just come back, he's just emptied his net into another bag. Actually this one here the same, bringing a load up for us. See where he's bringing these to. Oh, here we go, let's see what he's caught here. There we go, there's a nice load of fish for him. So yeah, people come down here, pick out the fish they want, they'll be cut up, prepared for cooking, and then you just got to take it home and you get the freshest fish you can get. So yeah, all this area that we're walking on now was big public square area that went right down to the water. It was really nice. I don't know why they've changed this. Maybe because they've built all of the new stuff down the far end, sort of once you get past the bridge there, it all becomes sort of public spaces, so there's no gardens or anything down that way. So maybe that's why, because they've now finished that work over there, they don't see the need to hold on here. So moving on to our right here, here's another cool thing I like here. We can see up here the Australian bottlebrush trees. There's a lot of these here in Jiaqing because they flower really beautiful red flowers. They're not really in flower at the moment. There's a little bit of flowering, but not much. They because they're red, red's considered a lucky color here in China. They love them. So basically any plant with red flowers here in China, they love. They'll have them up everywhere. So we're going to now head on to that old wall. Well, we're actually not, but I'm going to turn around and go back home, having completed this, recompleted this first video. So for me, I'm going home, but for you, stick with us. We'll be at the old wall in a minute. Take you through there and have a look. And sit under here under the shade for a minute. And then afterwards, after we have a look at that wall, we're going to go have a look at a museum I found yesterday I didn't know existed. It was very nice. And then, yeah, we're going to have a look at this new housing estate, sort of have a little bit of a look there, and then off through to the hardware area. So stick with us. The new housing estate and hardware area, probably going to be a new video. So yeah, there will be 2 videos uploading. Hopefully one tonight. We might get the second one done tonight as well. I'm not sure. We'll see how we go. Otherwise, the second one will be ready for tomorrow. So stick around and we'll be right back with you in just a moment. So we've made it up here to where we wanted to have a look at, but as we can see, it's still fenced off, so they're still doing a lot of work here. But we can sort of just see over the wall here. We've got these turtles on the wall, so there's a big pool area just down below there. And then as we look up above, I don't know how well we'll be able to zoom in on this wall up the back has all this amazing carved artwork. It's a huge big wall, goes right down behind this other end here. So yeah, we're not going to be able to get in there and show you that, unfortunately, but it is spectacular. So we will keep an eye out as soon as this works here is finished. As soon as this works here is finished, we will get back here and have a look. Let's zoom our camera back out. There is a gate down here that's open. We might even go and have a quick squiz and see if maybe we can sneak our way in. So just a quick look here, these apartment buildings here, all of these were still under construction when I first arrived. So down through the center of this area there's a huge big lake, which as we walked up here you might have noticed that other smaller lake. And then you've got the river, so the lake in here will overflow into that smaller one outside and then down into the river when the rain's heavy. Then down here we have more apartment buildings under construction. Yeah, Yeah, it's all go. This is all a new area of the city, and we are now going to try and sneak our way, if we can, into this gate and try and get up here and have a little look at what's going on up here. So it's very, very overgrown. So we can see this was some sort of a tourist area. And then on the edge here we see the turtles down there built into the landscape. There's nothing happening. We're going to go for a little walk up and see what we can see. So looks like there was sort of waterways all the way through here. I hope they're going to refurbish all this, because it's a beautiful little area. There's another big waterway down here in front of us here, underneath this wall with the turtles. And then, yeah, it's very, very overgrown. It was not like this the first time I came here. Not at all. It was all beautiful. It was very, very unused. I've never seen anybody else up here. But it's a spectacular little hidden oasis up here. So we get up the top here. Have a look at this wall. This is just absolutely stunning. And it's massive. It's got to be 8 meters high. And then all sorts of things depicted. So we have, I'm guessing that's the gate at Pai Phong Square. I'm guessing up here we have Ding Hu Mountain represented. We have the river, the dragon boats. Just mind-blowing, and there's nobody here. I actually came up here with a friend a couple of years ago. Well, a few years ago now. It was before COVID. And where she went up around the left here, up through the path, up above this, we were going to go up there and take some photos, some sort of wilderness photos, but we actually stumbled across a heap of graves. So we quickly backtracked out of there. Don't want to disrespect the dead, the family of the dead. So we're not going to take you up there to show you that, but it is up there, up in the hill. We have some plaques here with some writing on. I can't tell you what they say. Even if I'm not quite yet set up for translating things on the fly, we're getting there. But even if I was, it's too far away for the phone to be able to translate that. But yeah, this is just a glorious place. I thought I should come and show you. It's just another hidden little treasure. And like I say, I hope the local authorities here are going to spend some time just renovating and improving this place and getting it all back ship shape again. Because it's a beautiful place for just come and hang out. The afternoon, the sun's going down on our left behind the mountain, so if you get a bit of breeze coming in up the river, it'll probably turn out to be quite a nice, cool little place to hide away. And then, so what we're going to do now is we're going to head back down towards the river. There was I'm not sure, it looks like it might be another little museum back down the way on the corner where we turned up away from the river. So we're going to head back that way, go and have a look and see what's in there, if it is a museum. If not, so we're going to head back down to the right here, down towards the river. If it's not a museum and we can't get in there, then we're going to come back up here. We're going to keep going down towards our left here. And there's a little sort of village area that we'll just go and take a little walk through and have a quick squiz. So stick around, we'll be back with you. Well, I say stick around. I'm the one that's going away. You'll still be here. I'll be 10 minutes, but for you it's going to be like 2 seconds. So yeah, we'll see you in a second. Okay, I told you it would be but a second. So we're going to cross over the road here this is the building we're going to go and have a look at. I don't know what's in here. We're just going to have a look over the fence, see what we can see, and then... Okay, it does look like some sort of a museum area. So we look at those lovely dragons up on the roof there. Try and zoom in on them a little bit. Just little things like this, the architecture stuff that we see here is just stunning. So we're going to go for a little walk in here and see what we can see what this place is. These wonderful figures up on, I don't know how well you can see that, the sun's in a bad place for filming, but I'm having trouble getting the sun moved at the moment, so we'll just do what we can. So this sign gives us a look at the area we're heading into. So where are we? Okay, so the river's down on this bottom side. Oh no, it's not. Okay, so we're entering up on this corner here, I think. Yeah, because there's the apartments over the road here, which were, as you can see in the picture, they were under construction when they did this picture. So yeah, okay, so that's that overspill lake over behind us. So yeah, the river must be down along the bottom here. So we'll get in here, we'll see what sort of place this is. Might be a temple. We may not be able to film in here. We'll just have to see what's going on and see what we can get away with. We'll just go for a little walk down past here. Have a look down from the other side if we can. So just looking out across the river, we see the mountains there. A lot of areas here. We have a little port over the river, which is where a lot of the ships are loading up. Sort of sand, gravel, blue metal, all that sort of stuff is loaded up down this way. We have a little square down here, which I've not been down to before. Looks like we have fruit trees over on our left here, maybe a vegetable garden down in there as well. And yeah, so we can see an area down here where they load up sand and stuff. Got another area, looks like that's for loading and unloading container ships. There's some sort of might be a cement factory there. We can see sort of little areas on the hill that they've mined. So we look down here, we can see one where they're currently taking stuff out. And if we look further up and to the left here, we can see that's an old area where they've replanted trees. So anytime they do any stuff here, they must replant, make the area look natural again. We can see an area along here, which you might not be able to see in this camera. There's an area in about, where are we? About here, where the regrowth is actually is quite a bit further along. And then we have all the boats heading up and down the river here. What's this one here doing? Is he heading into that cargo, into the container port or not? No, he still looks a bit far away. He might be on his way out. I don't know what they would load in the containers there. So, this is the back side of what we've just been looking at. So we're going to go see if we can get inside there, have a look around and see if we're allowed to film. Like I say, if it is a temple that is still used for worship, there's every chance we're not going to be able to film in there. Just due to their beliefs and stuff. But we'll see how we go. If we can get in there, we will. If not, I'll tell you all about it when I come out. So we're inside this temple area. We're not actually, let me just turn this stupid tracking thing off. We're not actually allowed to film inside the actual worship areas, but it is okay out here. So we'll just give you a look around what we've got out in this square. So we have these wonderful dragon sort of things, which look like they're actually plumbed. So yeah, okay. So we'll have water falling out of their mouths. So obviously it's not working right at the moment, but we have the river right outside us here. So up here we have one of the worship areas, which we're not going to go into there. Then down here we have a so I was told this is another Pai Phong. So we've been to Pai Phong Square, which is named after the gate. So this is another Pai Phong gate, apparently. Yeah, the lady on the door here didn't actually speak any English, but she went and got another lady who did speak a bit of English. So we actually managed to have a bit of a chat with her. And as we look down over the fence here, so this is where those they look like fruit trees for my mind, and then a bit of a garden over to our left where they're growing vegetables and stuff, with the river down below. So if we look far off in the distance down here is where that old church was, the old Catholic church. So we're a fair way down the river here. Looking back in here, so we have heck, this looks like some sort of bloody oven actually. Looks like an old pizza oven. I wonder if they actually cook food in here or if it's just for a fire. I can't really tell, but yeah, certainly you see the ashes, they've burnt stuff in there. Then we have another little, what is probably meant to be full of water. Oh, we've actually got some turtles down in here. Well, one turtle. Oh no, there's a few more there. So they're ducking down into that little hole there as soon as they saw me coming, getting out of sight. And then this wonderful statue of the turtle and a snake. I know turtles are considered quite lucky here in this part of China. I'm not sure what the significance of the snake might be. So yeah, all these turtles are ducked down into that square, hiding away. So we can see a Buddha in this door. There's somebody doing some work there. So here we have an area where people can burn their incense sticks. And then it's wonderful old architecture. So we have more of these dragons here. And then again, lions guarding the entrance to this next part of the temple. Then we have again these red ribbons which people write messages on for good luck. So again, Chinese New Year time is very, very common for that. Then more incense areas. Wow, look at these candles in here, they look gorgeous. And then as we look up here, we have an old bell hanging here. Oh, with a beautiful dragon inscription on it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Then these pillars, just beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Just looking inside here, this mural, it's all carved into what's that rock called? I can't remember the name of that rock. but they find it in the bottom of, I think they're called ink stones actually, is what they're sort of referred to, because they use the same stone to make ink pots and writing stuff. And then we have an old drum, the old dragon boat sort of drum. Okay, so we're going to head in here. We're going to turn the camera off because it is into a worship area. It is still a practicing worship place, so we're not going to be able to film inside, but yeah, I'll tell you about it when we come out. So we've just finished walking around looking at some of this temple stuff, and absolutely stunning. It's a shame I can't film in there, but you know, that's a respect thing for their beliefs, so happy to respect that. Just amazing, some of the statues and things in there. The roof tiles all have writing on it. All the roof tiles have writing on. I don't know what the writing says, but it's absolutely gorgeous. What else did we see in there? There's a whole wall of like tiny little figurines, maybe 2 inches tall. They're all sort of enclosed in plastic or perspex or something with a light on the top. So the whole wall is this just a wall of little Buddhas and things all lit up. Absolutely beautiful. While we've been inside, so before we went in, it was beautiful weather and it was warm, and we can see now the skies have fairly closed in. It's just starting to rain here. You can see the wind has picked right up, so it's cooled the place right down, but it's about to get very wet. So we're gonna head back into the entranceway here. We can't actually film in there because there's a worship area just over on the left. So we're gonna turn the camera off, go and get out of this rain. We might sit down and have a drink. There's a table and area down there for that. So yeah, if you ever come to visit Zhaoqing, this is a place I'll definitely bring and show you. It's absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning things to see in here. And yeah, it's a shame we can't film it all for you, but next time we'll try and find one of these areas where we are actually allowed to film, somewhere that's not still a working temple. So thanks for watching, everybody. I don't know if we're going to do any more today, depending on what happens with this weather, which well, it's just come out of nowhere. We might still go up this little village area back up the road and do a little film there, and then on the way back I'm thinking maybe even stopping by, there's a area where they just have lots of hardware shops, so we may well head that way and do a video through there too, but we'll probably put those into a separate video. So thanks for watching, everyone. Like, share, subscribe. If you have questions, chuck them in the comments. Anything you want to see, chuck them in the comments. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.